Let's do a little bit of a tour through my fashion magazines and books that I've been collecting for some years now. And this is not a huge collection, but I consider this to be a good amount and I'm still adding to it. But this is everything that I have right now. And if you haven't seen me before, I'm Devin and this is my channel. And yeah, so, oh my gosh, voice break. Anyways, let's get into it now. The first book that I got is technically not a fashion book, but I would consider it to be one, and my mom got it back in 2009. It's Kevyn Aucoin's Making Faces. But Kevyn Aucoin is a very well-known makeup artist. He's done a lot of work for different fashion shows, and I'll show you a few pictures so you can get the gist. Like Kate Moss is in here, and Naomi Campbell, and it's full of very in-depth makeup tutorials on how to create his more iconic runway looks and even everyday looks. It's a very interesting book for sure. And there's some looks in here I do want to recreate, like this one, and there's like a whole guide to recreating it. They also had makeover pictures of models in here, and we could see this one, and basically it shows you how to get her look. And I like how they included lots of like childhood photos of the models that they were giving makeovers or doing makeup looks on. I thought that was pretty interesting to look at. The next book that I got is one that I officially bought myself, and this was the first one I ever bought, and this would have been early high school for me. And it's Alexander McQueen Unseen. It's the Alexander McQueen collection. And I don't have the cover on this book because when I bought it, my mom did not like what was on the cover and she thought it was too weird, and I almost had to get rid of the book. But I just took the cover off and it was fine. But I regret doing that because I have no clue where the cover went. And also it's got a little bit stained. It's got a little bit of a stain on it now from the years of having it, but oh well. However, I do remember it was on the cover. Let me flip through and find it. She was actually on the cover, and I think this look is very, very beautiful and interesting to me. Not everyone thinks that, but anyways. This is from one of my favorite sections. It's Only a Game, where this is a football, I guess, a football-inspired collection. I like having books that I can like physically look at when it comes to fashion, so I can physically reference something or physically see a collection versus looking at it online. And this book, I wish I had the cover for it. I wish I took a little bit better care of it, but inside everything looks pretty good. This was the first fashion magazine I ever bought, and has Alexa Demie on the cover, and I think I got this in 2017, and it definitely is very 2017. Let me find the shoot. It's got this kind of style of photography in it. Yeah, it's definitely very of the times, very 2017. And I'll show you the photo shoot with Alexa. Here we go. I think this was before she was in Euphoria, so I actually didn't know who Alexa Demie was at the time. But I remember thinking she was very pretty, and they have an interview. They have an interview of her in here too. I remember when I first bought this, I actually didn't quite understand fashion at the time, and I didn't really understand a lot of what I was reading, so I didn't really open this up that much. And some of the stuff that's in here is not really my style, but I still appreciate it for what it is. And also, it's interesting to look back at 2017 and 2017 fashion. And then I got this little book. It's a World of Art, Fashion Since 1900, and it is a very, very, very detailed recount of fashion literally since 1900, and the different eras and what marked different eras of fashion, and lots of very interesting photos in here too. Here's some earlier pages, and this is of course, you know, a little bit later on in the 70s. But I bought this because I did not know much about fashion at the time, and I always felt like I didn't understand fashion references, or I didn't really know much about the history of fashion. And I still have not read this book all the way through, which I need to do. It is not something I would sit down and read. It was something I would sit down and study. So I really need to get around to doing that. The next magazine I got, I don't really know why I bought this. I think I just wanted to buy a fashion magazine that day because Kendall Jenner is on the cover. Not that I'm against or like hate Kendall Jenner, but not a big fan of her. But still, I thought the shoot with her was kind of interesting. So, not that I can really show you the shoot because I'm on YouTube. And there's a lot of nudity, or not nudity, but scantily cladness in the photo shoot, so I can't really show it. But it was not that bad. I actually kind of liked it. Anyways, I cut a lot of sections out of this book, so there's like a lot of messiness with the pages and there's some tears and rips on this. I didn't really take good care of it. There was a photo shoot in here that I really liked, and I think about this time I started to get fashion. It was this photo shoot. I think it's called Two, and these are just a few photos from the shoot. There's also a section here about Loewe and a write-up about Loewe too in here. And I honestly don't remember what year this one was from. I think it was 2022, but I think it might have been 2021. I can't really remember. Anyways, then I bought this Dazed magazine with Stassi Santana on the front. There's articles in here about shrooms and the potential benefits of taking shrooms. And then I really like this shoot called Blown Away. And there was another photo shoot in here with Sky Ferreira. I think she was only wearing Thom Browne in the shoot, which I thought looked really good on her. I also liked the stack. And a photo shoot called Fields of Thought. I thought it was very nice. And on the back there was an ad for Miu Miu. I'm 90% sure that jacket was from a collection where it was all reworked leather, an old leather that had been reinvented to be a new object or new jacket to wear. And I really liked that collection. I believe it's from that one, but I could be wrong. Then I bought a different Dazed magazine when I was in California visiting my family. And Taylor Russell is on the cover. And I thought the shoot titled In Bloom was very beautiful. I thought they did an amazing job with that photo shoot. And I believe she is exclusively wearing Loewe. I also really liked these hairstyles in Chopped. I thought, like, I really like unique, colorful hair. Not that I could ever pull it off. I feel like that's so much maintenance and that's a lot of effort for me, and I feel like my hair is enough effort. But I admire it on other people. I think it's very interesting to me. Back to books, I got Merchants of Style, and I got this book when I was visiting my cousins in New York City, and I went to MoMA, and in the MoMA bookstore they had this book, and I wanted to pick up a fashion book because I feel like when you go to Barnes & Noble or you go to a big book chain, or really just any bookstore, there's very few books on fashion or about fashion commentary. So if I find one, I usually pick it up. I'm gonna read directly from the page about what this book is about because I feel like they describe it a little bit better than I can. Merchants of Style explores the accelerating convergence of art and fashion, looking at the interplay of artists and designers and the role of institutions, both public and commercial, that has brought about this marriage of aesthetic industries. Natasha Dejan argues that one figure more than any other anticipated this moment, Andy Warhol. Beginning with an overview of art and fashion's deeply entwined histories before picking up where Warhol left off, Merchants of Style tells the story of art's emboldened forays into commerce and fashion's growing embrace of art. As the two industries draw closer together than ever before, this book addresses urgent questions about what the future holds. And there are a number of photos, illustrations all throughout this book. But again, like this book, it is also quite dense, and I feel like this is not something I would just sit down and read casually. This would be something I'd have to be really thinking about and Googling because there's a lot of terms in here that I'm not familiar with. I'm gonna sit down and actually try to read this summer. This was another magazine that I picked up recently, and it covers the Marc Jacobs show. There's also a write-up of the Thom Browne Fall 2024 show. I think it's titled The Raven. And I might butcher this, but there's also a Melita Baumeister show from Autumn Winter 2024. Sorry if I butchered that, but I had not heard of this designer before and I thought their clothes looked very interesting. So I really do like when fashion magazines introduce me to something that I'm not familiar with because I feel like I have a lot to learn and there's a lot I don't know. So it's nice to find things out through fashion mags. And lastly, I picked up this Bazaar cover with Anak Yai. And this Miss Dior perfume packet, I can smell it from like 3 feet away from this magazine. It is very strong. It is very powerful. A little bit too powerful, but whatever. Anyways, again, many interesting articles in here. Fashion reports about cinched waist, the hourglass figure, Paloma, Christy Turlington, And again, this shoot with her was so beautiful, and she's just one of the most beautiful models. I also really liked this photo shoot too. And yeah, that is everything. I'm gonna put out another video very soon, I promise. And hopefully you liked it. If you've never seen me before, maybe consider subscribing. And yeah, thank you. Oh, voice crack again. I've been having many of those. I don't know why. Anyways, thank you for watching and see you soon.